You've never actually interacted with another person, not once in your entire life. Every conversation, every relationship, every moment of love or hate has been with a reflection you created inside yourself. When you look at someone, your mind projects out to where they are, copies them, and brings that copy back into your soul. Everything you feel about them, you're feeling about the copy, not the original. The person you love exists as a reflection in you. The person you hate exists as a reflection in you. And here's where it gets disturbing. These reflections have their own life, especially in your dreams. Before we break down what's actually happening when you sleep and why your dreams are a closed system you created, subscribe to One Paradox Collective. We investigate consciousness and human potential with frameworks that challenge how you understand your own mind. Sleep deprivation has been a torture method throughout history, not because it's painful in the moment, but because of what it does to consciousness over time. Without sleep, your mental structures degrade and your emotions become unstable. Your perception warps and your mind processes constantly during waking life. Every sight becomes an image delivered to your consciousness. Every sound converts to mental form. Every sensation, every smell, every taste gets transformed and stored. This processing demands massive energy from your body. Your five senses work nonstop, transforming the external world into internal experience. Then your mind has to link each new image to memory, to context, to meaning. It has to decide how to respond, what action to take, what emotion to feel. This is continuous multiprocessing that your brain engages in daily. Your nervous system, your digestive system, your vital body, they all need regeneration. The ideal would be 8 hours work, 8 hours rest, 8 hours for personal growth and study. Most people get none of that balance and accumulate stress over time. The regeneration that happens during sleep never completes for many individuals. Your body is divided into 8 parts, each needing roughly 3 hours of rest throughout the day. But the nervous and digestive systems specifically need the period before 10 p.m. Miss that window consistently, and you're building a deficit that manifests as disease, depression, anxiety. The Greeks understood this concept well and said dreams were crafted by the gods. They believed dreams were delivered through the keyhole of the soul. That image of the keyhole shows up everywhere in mystery traditions. Alice in Wonderland and countless initiatic symbols illustrate this idea. The keyhole represents the passage between waking and sleeping, between control and chaos. When you go to sleep, everything changes. In waking life, you have free will. You have reason governing your instincts. You have emotion checked by rationality. You can choose what to say, what to do, how to respond. But in dreams, free will stops. Your soul's creations run on their own. Everything you've built during waking hours becomes autonomous. Think about what that means. Every person you've created a reflection of becomes independent. Every fear you've fed becomes active. Every desire you've cultivated starts demanding attention, and you have no rational mind to moderate any of it. This is why dreams feel so intense, why fears that are manageable during the day become overwhelming at night. During the day, you see a dog across the street, and your first impulse is fear, but you notice the dog is on a leash far away, and you calm yourself. Reason intervenes. In the dream, you see the dog, and it's already on you. No leash, no distance, no rational thought to slow the reaction, just pure experience of what you created. Here's what makes this a closed system. You cannot dream about anything you didn't create. Every single element in your dream, no matter how strange, came from you. The bizarre locations, the impossible physics, the people who shouldn't be there, all of it originated in your soul. Your dreams don't come from outside. They're not messages from spirits or gods or your higher self. They're consequences. You're living in the world you built, and this world operates by different rules. One night of dreaming equals one complete life cycle. Birth to death, compressed. This is why sleep is called practice for death. When you die, you enter the same mechanism. The rational mind disengages, the soul's creations become your environment, and you live in the world you made until it resolves. You cannot love someone without creating their reflection in you. You cannot hate someone without creating their reflection in you. You cannot even perceive someone without creating their reflection in you. This is how consciousness works. To interact with anything external, your mind must project out, copy it, and bring that copy back inside. The copy connects to the original through a kind of energetic link. When you look at that internal copy, you're perceiving the original through it, but the copy is in you. So when you hate someone, here's what actually happens. You study them. You learn their methods, their patterns, their weaknesses. You rehearse confrontations. You imagine what they might do. You prepare responses. All of this builds an incredibly detailed reflection inside your soul. The more you hate them, the more energy you feed this reflection. It becomes dense, vivid, almost as real as you are. Now suppose you win. You defeat your enemy externally. They're gone, destroyed, no longer a threat in the physical world. But the reflection you built, still in you. In fact, it's now stronger than the original ever was, because you've been feeding it with intense emotion for so long. Your enemy won, not by defeating you externally, but by occupying your internal space. The reflection you carry does more damage than the person ever could. This is why traditions say hating someone is like drinking poison and expecting them to die. The poison is in you. The damage is to you. And here's the mechanism. All your emotions must be directed at reflections. You think you're feeling things about external people, but you're actually feeling things about the copies inside you. Which means when you hate, you're hating something in your own soul. When you love, you're loving something in your own soul. The external person just triggered the creation of that reflection. They're not receiving your hate or love directly. Your internal copy is receiving it, and that copy is connected to them. This is why the teaching says, the only way I can be truly understood is if each of you becomes a perfect reflection of me. If you create a perfect reflection of someone in yourself, you understand them completely. The channel between your reflection and their original becomes clear. You're not understanding them from outside. You're understanding them because you've become them internally. When you sleep in a new place, especially a hotel, your first dreams aren't entirely yours. This catches people off guard. You lie down in an unfamiliar room, fall asleep, and suddenly you're dreaming. You're dreaming about situations that make no sense. People you don't know, emotions you don't recognize, scenarios that have nothing to do with your life. What's happening? When you fall asleep, your physical and vital bodies separate slightly from your astral and mental bodies. This is temporary, not a breaking of the connection, just a loosening. Your physical and vital bodies stay in the bed, regenerating by connecting to the elemental intelligences. Your astral body, where your dreams take place, becomes filled with the astral matter of wherever you are. In a hotel room, that astral space is saturated with the dreams of everyone who slept there before. You're breathing astral matter that's been shaped by dozens, maybe hundreds of previous occupants. Their fears, their desires, their unresolved issues, all of it is in that space. And in your first sleep cycle, before your own dream patterns dominate, you experience fragments of their dreams. This is why travel disrupts sleep. Why you have strange dreams in unfamiliar places. Why some hotel rooms feel disturbing, even though nothing is visibly wrong. You're mixing your astral creations with residue from everyone before you. The ideal would be to have protection practices, ways to shield your dream space, so you only experience your own creations. But most people don't know this is even happening. They just accept that travel means weird dreams. Same thing applies when you visit ancient places. Touch a stone at Machu Picchu, walk through a cathedral, stand in the Cairo Museum. The mineral matter holds memory. It observed everything that happened around it, and that observation is stored. Most people can't consciously access these memories, but in dreams, when rational filters drop, you might suddenly experience fragments of what that place witnessed, not past life memories necessarily, just the astral and mental impressions soaked into matter over time. In your dreams, the enemy reflection you've built has free will because your rational mind isn't governing anymore. It becomes autonomous. It moves, it acts, it confronts you. Sometimes dreams about enemies are more conciliatory than waking life. You find yourself forgiving them, or they're suddenly friendly. Why? Because what feeds hatred during the day doesn't feed it at night. During waking hours, you're constantly receiving external inputs that reinforce the conflict. You remember what they did. You hear news about them. You rehearse your grievances. In the dream state, without those external inputs, the reflection isn't being fed the same way. It shows up differently. But here's the danger. If you've built a strong enough reflection through intense hatred, and then you actually destroy or remove the external enemy, the internal copy doesn't go away. It's autonomous now. You carry your defeated enemy inside you for the rest of your life and potentially beyond. This internal copy influences your thoughts, your reactions, your perceptions. You've become partially what you hated. The way out is to understand that every conflict happens primarily inside you. The external battle is secondary. If you can keep the internal reflection from becoming too dense, too autonomous, too dominant, then even if the external conflict continues, you remain free internally. Every dream symbol has a source. Nothing is random. That strange building you've never seen, constructed from fragments of places you've been, thoughts you've had, images you've absorbed, the person with a face you can't quite place, composite of people you know. Many dreams that feel completely alien are actually from previous existences. The tendencies you carry from past lives sit in your soul as condensed patterns. In waking life, these tendencies influence you subtly. In dreams, they fully express. You might dream you're in a war you never fought, speaking a language you never learned. That's your soul accessing its own history. This is why dream interpretation books are useless. They try to give universal meanings to symbols. But your water isn't my water. Each dream is utterly specific to the dreamer. The only person who can interpret your dream is you, and it must be done within the dream itself, not after waking. When you wake from a disturbing dream, your first reaction is usually, "That was crazy, I would never do that." But you did, in the dream. And whatever you did reveals something true about your soul. The conscious mind dismisses the dream as random or meaningless. But its consequence, you planted every element during waking life, maybe yesterday, maybe lifetimes ago. Now you're harvesting what you planted. Sometimes you sleep 8 hours and wake up more tired than when you went to bed. If your consciousness remains partially integrated with your physical body during dreams, and the dream involves conflict or intense activity, your physical body responds. You dream you're in a fight, your muscles tense. You dream you're running, your heart rate increases. The physical body is resting, but not fully, because your consciousness hasn't completely disengaged. Then there's the issue of dream injuries. If something injures you in a dream, you can wake up with pain in that area. The physical body is fine, but you feel pain because the injury happened at the astral level. The only way to heal it is to go back into the dream state, become conscious there, and resolve what happened. You can't fix an astral injury with physical medicine. This is why preparation for sleep matters. You're entering another state of existence where the creations you've been building all day become autonomous and active. The goal isn't to stop dreaming. Dreams are necessary. They're where unresolved patterns play out, where past life tendencies express, where your soul confronts what it's created. The goal is to become conscious within the dream. Lucid dreaming is the beginning, but true mastery means maintaining your free will in the dream state, not being tossed around by autonomous creations, but directing your attention consciously. Why does this matter? Because the dream state is practice for death. When you die, the same mechanism activates. Your rational mind disengages. The social masks fall away. Everything you've created internally becomes your environment. If you've never learned to navigate your own creations consciously, death is disorienting and potentially terrifying. But if you've practiced in dreams, death is just another dream you know how to navigate. The practical approach. Start paying attention to what you're creating during waking hours. Notice when you're building reflections of people. Notice when you're feeding fears. Don't try to stop this. You can't. But become aware of it. Then, as you prepare for sleep, recognize you're about to enter the world of those creations. Set an intention to remain aware. Over time, this awareness can carry into the dream state. You're no longer a victim of your own creations. You're working with them. Your dream world is exactly as large as your soul. If your soul is small, concerned only with yourself and immediate family, then your dreams take place in small spaces. A few rooms, a neighborhood, limited scope. If your soul has expanded to care about larger issues, more people, broader concerns, then your dream world expands. You might dream you're working with groups, traveling to unfamiliar places, engaging with situations that have nothing to do with your personal life. And if your soul has expanded to genuinely care about collective well-being, then your dream space can encompass entire planes of existence. You're not limited to your personal astral creation. You're tapping into collective spaces where real work happens. This is why some people report helping during disasters. They sleep through massive events and wake up exhausted, with fragmentary memories of being somewhere, doing something. Their expanded soul gave them access to collective spaces where assistance was needed. The size of your dream world directly reflects the expansion of your soul. Want to know how much you've genuinely grown? Look at the scope of your dreams. The way to work with this isn't to try to stop creating reflections or to eliminate all conflict. You can't, but you can become conscious of what you're building. Understand that your dream world is your own construction. Gradually develop the ability to maintain awareness even when rational filters drop. Every night is practice for the day you won't wake up in this body. The mechanism is the same. So here's my question. What reflection are you carrying that you didn't realize you built? Which person occupies space in your soul that you need to examine? Drop a comment and let's discuss. Subscribe to One Paradox Collective for more investigations into consciousness, dreams, and the mechanics of how your soul actually works. We bring you frameworks that explain what's happening beneath the surface of your experience.